Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eternal Spring. I'm Paul Thrott, and I am here in Mexico City with my wife, Stephanie. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
So, we have a big update today. We had intended to take a side trip outside of Mexico City, but our new neighbor introduced us to a handyman who does incredible work and speaks very clear English. And because he could complete so many of the jobs we've wanted to do for such a long time, we decided that it was better to spend our money that way. So we had a little staycation, I guess. And this past week, we made several big improvements to the apartment, which we're very excited about.
Yes, yes. The biggest and most obvious upgrade, which you can see in the background, is that we had the entire apartment painted. We've been staring at these bland, white, poorly painted walls since we moved in or, started coming down here almost 2 years ago. And now we have this kind of nice medium green color throughout the kitchen, the living room, and the bedrooms, and then a lighter shade of that same green in the bathrooms. It looks great, and we're both really happy with it. And I can start hanging up some of the art that we've been buying on these trips that we've been holding off on until we get the walls painted.
Yeah. It might be a little too bright where I am because it's a little duller looking behind me, but actually
Yeah,
it's
your
this,
color looks a lot different,
it's the
even though
same
it's the
color,
same
but it's
color.
I bet I have too many lights. But anyway, it came out great. Both of us make a lot of work calls. We do podcasts, we do these videos, and we're hoping that the paint and maybe the wall hangings we eventually put up will help cut down on the echo that we get here sometimes.
Yeah. And, tied to that, we've had these bright kind of intense blue-white light bulbs in all the ceiling lights since we started out here. And I've been wanting to replace them with warmer bulbs, which it was nice that we were able to have a handyman do that because he knows where to buy the bulbs that are supposed to last for 14 years, not about 14 minutes, as he said. The ones that you would buy at the local store would probably last. So we got those changed out as well for like yellow, warmer bulbs. Did that in all of the rooms except the bathrooms. So these rooms are a little bit darker than they used to be, but I think overall they look a lot better. And we're going to get some lamps with dimmers in the living room on a future trip, just to kind of be able to have the lighting exactly how we want it.
Yeah, the bathrooms, we went in the opposite direction, right? So previously they were too dark, and it was such that I used to hold up my camera light, flashlight, try to shave. It was so dark in there. And we had no lights over the sinks, so we stayed brighter, or went brighter, I guess, in the bathrooms. The paint colors lighter. We left those blue white lights in there in the ceiling because you want that light there. And then we added these really big bright lights over the mirror, and I can actually shave for the first time. It's nice in some ways, being able to see my face properly when I'm holding a razor blade in my hand. So, so that's good.
Yep. And then we added some shelving in the bathrooms. There's really only under sink storage included in the bathrooms, and you could put a couple things on the back of the sink, but there's really not any storage to speak of. So in the master bathroom, we had this kind of rickety cheap shelving thing that went over the toilet that we bought at Woolworths, and it just, every time you bumped it, stuff would fall over, and it made the bathroom feel crowded. And we never even found anything that worked well in the second bathroom. So we had the handyman install 3 floating shelves in each bathroom, so we can just put stuff on there, have space to, set your stuff down when you're in the bathroom. It's been something I've wanted to do kind of all along. We also added a couple more towel hooks in each bathroom, which doesn't sound like a big thing, but when you have your towel hanging on one hook and the other one doesn't have any place to go and they're still wet the next day, it's actually a problem. So it's kind of a easy fix for a, everyday annoyance. Well, I had bought these stick-on hooks and they were okay, but they were starting not to stick on anymore.
Yeah, no, I think the big deal is we got the actual hooks we already had in there and got 2 more for each bathroom. So for some reason there was only one. So they match now. It's nice.
Right.
And let's not forget the biggest bathroom upgrade. I guess we call it the toilet paper holder, right? In both bathrooms was behind the toilets, requiring this kind of Cirque du Soleil dexterity to get back to that thing. Unfortunately, the second bathroom is too small. We couldn't move that holder. It's still in the original location. But in our master bath, the main bath, we were able to put it on the side of the vanity, I guess. So it's actually, you would see it sitting on the toilet. It's a weird thing to talk about. But it's to your side and in front of you, not, like way behind it.
Yes.
So an improvement.
Yes, definitely an improvement. We also added 2 new power receptacles. One's in the space between the 2 bedrooms, which is a place that we really like to put a fan. Sometimes we use fans quite a bit.
Mhm.
And we had to run an extension cord from inside of one of the 2 bedrooms in order to put a fan there. So that's convenient. And then the other one is kind of in the space on the outside of the kitchen counter facing into the living room. And that's where Paul usually works at that table. So, he needs power there to get all his equipment plugged in.
Yeah, this little setup is a kind of a weak approximation of what I have at home, but it butts up against the kitchen, and the only power is way down there on the floor or right up. I'm pointing the wrong way, right up here on the in the kitchen, whatever. But the point is that there were wires everywhere, and now we have this thing down on the floor below the table. Nice, cable management and all that stuff. So that's big for me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was everything, it's a lot. We would be in great shape right now. But as always, there is one more thing hanging over us.
There is the water heater.
Yep, the damn water heater. So how do we explain this and not take half an hour of me ranting to do it?
I know. Well, on this trip, we've already been here for almost 4 weeks, and we've still been having reliability issues with the temperature and the water pressure that we've had over the whole time here. We've had several different groups of people come in and look at it, monitor it, reconfigure it. They ultimately decided that the water heater needed to be replaced. They did try replacing the gas regulator, but that didn't really do anything. We changed the shower head. That didn't do anything. It's a better shower head, but it didn't solve the problem. So they recommended a new water heater, and today they were here for about 2.5 hours this morning installing it. So now it's here.
Yeah, it was like a Three Stooges skit in here this morning with these guys. But, you go into this hoping for the best, but given history, also expecting the worst. And as of now, we don't have enough data. So we've both taken a shower. And the results, were unpredictable, right? So in Stephanie's case, it had the same problems as before, hot and cold, etc. The difference is this machine doesn't sound an alarm like the old one, right? And so I didn't realize it wasn't working at one point. And you kind of stuck your head out and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And I went and looked at it, and there's a temperature display. It's very hard to see. It's in the far corner, and it's very small, but I could see and hear that the machine would shut down, power back up, heat up the water. And it could, I guess that's better. There's no alarm, and it does sort of seem to auto fix, I guess. And maybe that's good if you're here by yourself. You could actually take a shower. But at least, I don't know, the way it was before, if there was another person, they could turn it off, turn it on, and it would fix it a little more quickly, maybe. But it was a manual process. So maybe it's a little better.
Yeah, so twice when I was taking a shower, the water got cold, and then the heater turns itself off, and then it turns itself back on. And then, Paul's shower was perfect with no issues. So we need to try it more.
Usually it works the other way around.
Yeah. But I don't know. It might be a little bit better. It might not. It's too soon to tell.
I think that's the only thing we can say. It's not fixed.
Right.
I mean, it did turn off. Maybe this is the only time that ever happens. I mean, who can say?
Right.
We can say.
We can say in time.
Yeah. So our kids are arriving tomorrow. Popo willing. It's been some volcanic activity lately. We have some really cool experiences planned for them, and there'll be some videos that come out of that. But we're going to be out for much of the next week because we'll be traipsing around with the kids. And that means the water heater probably isn't going to get fixed on this trip if it ever gets fixed. We do have a plumber coming tomorrow because they love sending people here to look at stuff. We've had hundreds now, I think, dozens certainly. He's going to check to make sure the installation is correct. I mean, we just took showers. It seems pretty good. I don't know. Anyway, we hoped being here for 5 weeks would, make the difference. Like just being here, we could kind of bug them a little bit, get it done. And they've shown up. I mean, they've done 2 fairly major installations, but I don't know. For now, it's water heater 5, Paul and Stephanie 0.
Right.
Or whatever number.
Yep. Yeah, but as far as the whole week goes and this whole trip goes, we got a lot of stuff done this week, and we're really happy to have found this handyman who does really good work and who we can communicate with well. And we're just making the place feel the way we've wanted to make it feel for a long time. Looking forward to doing some more decorating, but it already looks and feels so much better than it did before.
Oh yeah, much better. So I guess that's it for today. We'll be back soon with more videos. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon.
Yep. Thanks. Bye.